got 5 kids to feed.
Welcome to another CF3 Partycast. Rather than introduce myself as Dane Mychal, I'm actually going to ask Jason Dames Marvs to guess who I am.
Either one of the two people fucking at the beginning of the movie on the
Why
houseboat.
does he know
Either
that?
one of those. They have
Why
the same
does he know that I'm interchanging
yes!
one of the first two teens to be
one
slaughtered?
for one. One for one.
Dames Marvs, welcome to our Partycast here for Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I'm very excited. Are you drinking anything in honor of this Partycast?
I was doing Coke earlier, a.k.a. Pixie Sticks, and because of that, I have a bloody nose.
Oh.
From Gross Gust. From Gross Gust.
That's a bloody nose soda. Okay. Well, other than beer, which I'm going to be mostly drinking tonight, I have, it's a key lime soda, Oso key lime, but it's actually the color of the water that starts pouring into the boat in the movie. So I'm just drinking the water that basically comes into the boat. So we have 7 incredible guests joining us today, and I'm going to start bringing them in one at a time here. Starting with somebody who did a Partycast with us back in the audio podcast days, and we haven't seen him since we switched to video. Please welcome the writer from Modern Horrors, Mr. John Cohorn.
Hey!
John, I'm actually going to do a costume change because now I'm welcoming everybody onto the boat. We're going on our grad party cruise.
Aye, aye, Admiral.
So welcome, John. Satan is good, apparently.
Satan is our pal.
And long time no see. Hope you're doing well. And hope you have brought a drink for this Partycast.
I brought a Manhattan with extra cherries and a shaker for backup.
Oh, Cohorn takes Manhattans with extra cherries.
Yep.
All right.
Cheers.
I'm in somebody who had Dames and I star in one of his films that's about to come out. Mr. A.J. Chambers, director of After School Lunch Special 1 and now Part 2, Sloppy Seconds, starring in a lead role, Dane Mychal. I'm just kidding, but I'm in it. I like the mask. I like the
thank you. Thank you.
Hat.
I got this hat from Lloyd Kaufman.
Really?
Yeah, he brought it to me.
He dug it out of a vat of toxic waste because apparently, if you go to New York, that's all you're gonna see.
What the hell?
So I'm gonna be eating toxic waste.
I have an orange one.
That's funny.
Yeah, me too.
I'm drinking toxic waste.
Oh, what is that?
Toxic waste.
Yeah!
Every night at midnight.
All right, I gotta see you take a drink of it then.
Look at that shit.
Are you really?
There's dry ice in it. I will drink it.
I know. I want to see it get stuck in your beard.
Somebody else is taking a drink here. Comedian Mr. Matthew Blevins.
Why, hello, I didn't see you there.
Is that a Manhattan as well?
This is an invention I like to call a bloody Manhattan with a splash of toxic waste. It's basically, you've got your Bloody Mary mix. Okay. You've got your Canadian whiskey because it's Vancouver trying to be New York City right here. And then for toxic waste, we have a splash of Green Monster energy drink. It's terrible.
Jesus.
It's as bad as the movie, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to swill these because I've been steadily getting drunker off of this first one while I was waiting backstage. So this is exciting times.
These are exciting times.
It's separating. It's
for Courtney Warner from Nashville, comedian. And she's on another two Project Nerd shows actually that I'm aware of. Murder, She Joked, and High Five the Podcast.
Yes.
This is your first time on the Partycast, so thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I didn't realize I was in the presence of mixologists. This is quite intimidating.
Now, do you drink? And are you drinking?
I drink too much, frankly. I think everyone's concerned. I have some red wine, the color of here we go, the color of blood, as you will, and in a cup from my favorite indie art house theater here in Nashville, and then also some sparkling water, much like the sewer water at the end of the movie, kind of bubbles up. So got it covered.
Love it. Love it. We're going to add one of our favorites. She's been on every video Partycast we've ever done. And
You can't get rid of me.
She looks very Rennie-esque today with the vest. Please welcome Melissa Jo Murphy.
Hi.
I can't
Now,
wait to
I know that
kill
you drink, but are you? Did you make up anything special for tonight?
It's a soda pop with some cherry juice in it.
But it looks
It's
like
not special.
it looks like diluted blood, maybe. Maybe you could get away with
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is. Diluted blood of the victims of this movie. This interesting movie.
Next, we've got a stormtrooper. The stormtrooper showed up. Is he doing like
Make a
kill,
A Chewie impression.
This franchise gets weird in later entries.
Michael Callio, writer, director, producer.
God
actor.
damn it, I'm terrible at this cosplay shit. Hold on, here we go.
Yes.
What was it
to
said
Mike.
yet? It's Jason.
Aw.
To
Then he,
Mike.
nice.
then he proceeded to punch me in the arm and it hurt like hell.
I was just about to ask
Kane
if you
Hodder.
got choked or punched.
Punch your arm off.
He did. I have a
Trash.
normal one too.
Wow, he's got all the variants.
With the thingy.
Now, the last person that I'm going to welcome onto the Lakeview High grad cruise of 1989 is Mr. Ben Shrewsbury from Two Marks and a Spark. Ben,
Hi,
you're
guys.
the Gen Z representation that we have here. Unless Courtney is
Lord.
too.
I think I'm not totally
Millennial.
a cusper. Yeah,
I think
millennial
you're a
Zenner.
millennial.
Yeah, I'm trying to seem younger than I am.
I try to cut back on my alcohol content, and then I agree to come on this show and watch this movie, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Questionable life choices.
But are you old enough to drink anyway?
Yeah.
I am 22 years old, sir.
Nice. Taylor Swift wrote a song about you.
Welcome, everybody. Before we get started, Dane, our resident attendee at these, a resident Friday the 13th star, Jessica Hotman, could not be here today because she's in flight. But I wanted to let you guys know that her new song drops today at Giveth Sounds. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. And the new song is called Specter of the Wasteland. Check it out.
Ooh.
AJ, is that New York style pizza that you're eating?
It is.
Oh
Oh,
man, that looks awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm jealous.
me too.
Well, welcome aboard, and I want to hear about somebody who actually saw this back in 1989 when it came out. Did anybody see this in the theater?
I've seen it in the theater, but it was
Way
like
later.
3 years ago. It wasn't on initial release.
Okay, so Mike, you saw it like on release. Okay.
I graduated high school in 1989.
Oh, you are authentic Lakeview High class
I
of 89.
am, and a bunch of us went to opening night, and the movie started, and my friends were being rowdy, and I was like, you know what, we should just start yelling out body count. So, first kill, one. People laughed. By the end of the movie, the managers and the ushers were standing near the exits like there was going to be a riot. And this was an old school theater that actually had a bar way back in the day, and you could get drinks, and we snuck ours in because we weren't of age. But it was like a huge theater of like 300 or 400 people, drunk people by the end of it screaming the body counts. It was great.
That's awesome.
We thought there was going to be a riot.
That's the best way to watch
At the end, it was like 11. 11.
Us.
Because that's how big this class of 1989 was, right?
Yeah.
Like, I thought I went to a small school. Like, there was like 12 people in this graduating class.
That's true.
That might be being kind, actually.
Oh,
Maybe it was
there
when
was
I graduated.
there was a mistake in this movie.
What? Oh.
You're more than welcome to point out any mistakes that come up as we discuss them.
Well, I think the first mistake is that the movie was made and only about 15 minutes of it actually kind of maybe takes place in New York, but
yeah,
that may
When I
be
was
splitting hairs.
When I was watching it, I watched it on Amazon Prime, and like, you know, if you go like kind of put your mouse or your cursor over the screen, it'll show like behind the scenes or the cast or whatever. On this, it was just goofs. Like, here's continuity issues, and that's all that it showed. And I'm like, oh wow, this gives me hope that I can get a movie made one day.
I watched the special feature or the gag reel that was on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And it was
Is the gag reel?
People gagging. There was actually people getting gagged by Jason.
Oh no, I thought the gag reel was people watching the movie and just going, ugh, because they couldn't stand it.
I was gonna say, are you sure you watched the gag reel, or did you just watch the actual movie?
Blevins, have you seen this a lot over the years?
No, this was my first viewing this week, and it was trying to be a lot of movies. Unfortunately, none of them were good ones. So it was a real slog.
You know, it's been a while since I went through and watched the entire series in order, and I don't remember part 7 feeling this way, but this one really feels like something that was made for television. And if you look at the credits, it's because a good portion of the cast and crew, maybe cast is misspeaking, but definitely the crew crossed over from the Friday the 13th television show, which, like somebody else mentioned earlier, was filmed in Canada.
So, like, when you saw the name Jensen Daggett flash across the screen, you weren't like heart racing, like this is a big time film.
Actually, the one that got me was music by Fred Molin, because this is the first one that doesn't have and oh shit, now I'm completely blanking on his name, but
Henry
Mancini. It doesn't have the Manfredini.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the Manfredini score. So on 7, it was Manfredini and Fred Molin, but Fred Molin had done music for the Friday the 13th TV show, which I watched as a kid religiously and didn't get hung up on the fact that Jason had nothing to do with it. But this really feels like an episode of a television show.
Sure. Well, apparently they were trying to go for Das Boot and Alien with like the first slog on the SS Lazarus, which I don't know like what crab fishing boat that they stole from Alaska to pass off as a like a cruise ship, but the thing was the goddamn TARDIS on the inside, because you've got like a dance hall, you got bitchin' acoustics down in the Firefly section. I mean, this thing is insane.
But before we get to the Lazarus, we have to deal with the SS Ridiculous. So
right.
the movie starts out, you know, with establishing shots of New York City. And some of that stuff comes back later, which I did think was a nice touch. But then it cuts to the yacht run by a rich high schooler on Crystal Lake. And in my notes, I actually wrote credits cut back to Crystal Lake and the SS Ridiculous. I mean, the high schooler takes the yacht out for the weekend and somehow gets from Crystal Lake to New York City.
Yeah. But isn't there?
Yeah, I was going to say, while we're speaking logistics,
how do you get from a lake to the ocean?
While we're speaking logistics, where's Crystal Lake Harbor exactly?
There's a fjord.
There's a few.
You guys, we need to do our since we're talking about all these high schoolers and stuff. I want you to take a good long look at this, and you're gonna have to like pick out who you are, okay?
Oh,
And because there's gonna be a quiz afterwards.
Show your work.
Is everybody ready?
mhm.
Yes.
Say, I need more time to know who I was. Okay, I think everybody's ready. Courtney,
Oh, AV Club Geek.
really?
yeah. I have
now,
a directed by Wes Anderson poster on the back of my wall. Yes, absolutely.
Did you make movies or videos or anything like that in school?
Yeah, I was homeschooled, so my graduating class was smaller than this particular graduating class in this movie. But not everyone. Well, you know what, Steven? You know what? You don't know me. You don't know my life. We are just meeting. You with the little sunglasses. Like, who are you, Stevie Wonder? Or some shit? Sorry, that's probably offensive. Anyway,
Only to Stevie Wonder.
horn.
Does anybody want to admit to being
Well,
the
of course,
horn
don't
dog?
always surprise Anthony with that fucking beard as a horn dog.
Ben,
Does
I'm
anybody
sorry.
here want
I'm
to
just
Ben.
gonna roast.
horn dog?
I'm gonna
just
roast
admit
the
it,
kind
Ben.
people who are watching.
Just admit
I'm
it,
sorry.
Ben.
I was a mixture of a loner and an AV.
We tell
Club
that you're the horn dog.
We're all horn dogs. That's
Equals
why
horn
we do
dog.
this. We're trying to
Mike.
get laid out here. God.
I think the question might have offended Melissa.
Oh, she's gone.
Like fucking them out.
Oh, she was.
Oh, she transformed.
She was.
Who
pretty-
wanted
Oh!
to be
Oh shit!
rocker? My ukulele.
Traded in
Love
the
it.
Y&V for a ukulele.
Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. No?
Were you the rocker
No.
stoner and not the AV Club geek, Melissa?
I was the one you don't remember.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
And,
slash wannabe rocker. Wish I could be rocker, but wasn't cool enough to be a stoner, so no one remembers me.
And like your death, if you had been killed in high school, would have been so forgettable that like you would have been in this amazing like discotheque and like you just die by getting choked with all this great scenery and possibilities around you. You just
Yep.
get choked to death.
Yep.
Yep.
That would have been me too. Don't worry.
Levin?
Nice.
I know it
Ooh.
wasn't an option, but could I be the harbinger of doom, dude? That just shows up. It's like you're all gonna die, Jason.
Oh, the deckhand.
Crazy Ralph.
Or as I call him, shitty Liam Neeson.
right.
Love me
I
some
thought
Liam Neeson.
I thought he was
Or
Crazy
just
Ralph's
Liam
son.
Neeson. No.
Son of Crazy Ralph.
Now, AJ, you make movies, so is your
Yeah.
answer going to be AV
Well,
geek, or were you
In
different?
high school, I was the rocker.
Okay.
But now I'm the AV geek. Yeah.
Go Horn.
So I'm a mix of two, and I'm completely going to out myself here. I was not a wannabe. I was a stoner, and I was also kind of a slut,
Fuck yeah.
which explains why I am 46 and have a 30-year-old daughter. I was a preacher's kid. I had a stereotype to uphold.
Now,
Yeah.
did you do
No
that?
condoms.
Jesus, you're me. You're basically me.
Yeah, I'm his
my
I'm his
God.
daughter. Thank you for having me on. I'm not. I'm 28. I can't be your kid. I'm sorry.
So, John, if you were the slut up there, kind of a slut up there in the corner, did you do the cocaine too?
Well, actually, before we logged in, I started to put my name as John Top Dollar Toot Cohorn, but I decided to go with the undefeated John Cohorn. So
Well, you guys thought that was the question of the day. James, I already showed that comment, by the way. Where were
I'm
you?
gonna say this. Does he just keep commenting horn dog? Duh. Please know that I'm horny.
But you guys thought that was the question of the day. That was just a warm up. This is the real question of the day, and the setup here is when the slut starts to do the cocaine off the mirror, she says, "Nighttime is the right time." So that brings up our real question of the day. Dames, take that comment away. Do you even know what you're doing anymore? God. Take the comment away. Okay, thank you. Question of the day. What catchphrase do you prefer to use prior to snorting a line of Coke off a mirror? All right.
Well, that's not fair. I didn't know that.
So Matthew Blevins.
I had mine on there. It was "Welcome to Project Nerd," so you didn't want me to take it away.
Holy shit! Is there really that much hair up there? That's usually what I say when I see my nose in a mirror real close.
Ben.
I hope I don't die.
Courtney.
All right, might as well. Don't want to be rude.
John.
Either "Oh wow, man, good Nyborg," or "We were told there would be punch and pie."
AJ.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Mike.
Probably. I hope this cocaine smells good.
What's that?
Everything smells like cocaine afterwards.
School's out, McCullen.
Dames Marvs.
Nice.
Can I change mine?
Yeah.
Horn dog.
Horn dog.
This is if the mirror is not in the. This is if the mirror is not involved.
Okay.
Whose dick is this?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I think it works even if the mirror is involved.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can I get a longer line? Can I get a longer line?
What's my line?
I don't do 2-inch lines.
Right? Is this one mine or is that
Too
one mine?
short.
Which one of these isn't laced with something?
And I think mine would be
On that note,
yep,
toxic
it is
waste time.
12:30 again, so why not? All right. So before we go on any further, I just want to let you know that this Partycast is brought to you by Project Nerd, and also a grant from Rennie's Paisley Vest.
Love it.
Rennie's Paisley Vest now on sale. Mark down, taken at register.
I love how there's just a dollar sign. There's no real price. You kind of make your own price. Like, I'll pay you 4 cents for this.
I think you do name your own price when it's a Paisley vest. I think because you were dressed as Rennie and you couldn't find Paisley, Melissa, because I think it's a rare commodity.
I have a Paisley long sleeve shirt,
Go.
but not a vest.
Get it.
All right.
Cut off those sleeves.
Didn't it?
Go get it. Has anybody been to Manhattan before?
I have.
Okay, Courtney has.
Yeah.
Mike has. I have as well. I didn't really see anything worth remarking over. While I was there. But, had to see the Rainbow Room while I was there at 30 Rock, and then, of course, Radio City Music Hall. But really nothing else about it.
I hung out with those drug
Like
dealers.
Jason was with you.
I was shooting up in the alley with those guys in the beginning of the movie.
Which are also the scumbags that come back at the end of the movie.
Were they
Yes.
the same ones?
I did not remember realizing that before, but I actually went back and watched the beginning of this movie a second time, this time to verify. Yes, it is the same scumbags.
They had been doing heroin through that whole entire movie.
Okay, so 2 points here. 2 points here. At the beginning, Dames mentioned his drink looking like the water, but I thought it looked like the shit that they had in that needle that they shot her up with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Second,
So this could be, this could
second
work.
point. I don't understand these junkie/dealers' whole line of business because they talk about getting stoned and it's kind of implied that they're shooting heroin, but then he says, "Hey Jojo, we're going to have to sling more cane. It's going to be a long night." So they're selling cocaine to shoot heroin, but they want to do heroin, but they want to stay up and rape people all night. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Sure.
I just assume all drugs are the same.
This is what happens when writers who don't do drugs write about drugs.
All the same. Let's do the same thing.
Did you see the gauge on those needles too? That was like,
I mean, this screenplay was not written by Hunter S. Thompson. You guys, that much is out.
Well, so to be fair, the writer and director Rob Medden had only had a couple of jobs before this. One of them was a TV documentary, and the other two were 2 episodes of Friday the 13th, the series. So yeah, he probably should have done more drug research.
Yeah, just done more drugs.
Did people the producers think that Friday the 13th, the series, was amazing and we got to port all this talent over?
I think it was because there was already some crossover and they could get people for cheap, to be honest with you.
Like, we'll pay you minimum wage to direct this piece of crap. And he was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be real. I only had seen the first one and then this one as a younger person. And so I do love this movie very much. Because I've never seen the other ones.
What spoke to you about this in particular?
I think that New York was very glamorous to me at the time of being a young person. And then my cousin, he's 3 or 4 years older than me. And so he introduced me to first Friday the 13th, this movie, Ghost, and Titanic. So I have and Harry Potter. So I have very fond memories associated, growing up as a younger person when he would watch me and my younger brother. We weren't supposed to watch these things, so I had seen. This is the second Friday the 13th movie I've ever seen.
A couple movies about boats.
I'm sorry?
A couple movies about boats, this one and Titanic.
Oh, yeah, and Titanic, about boats getting fucked up. Yeah, that's kind of his deal.
Don't make it to their destination.
Yeah, Harry Potter, they have boats when they're going to Hogwarts, same deal. So
yeah.
Do you have a phobia of boats now from all these movies he showed you?
No. I mean, boats are fine. I think they're kind of a waste of money. There's a lot of maintenance. Personally, I don't want one. But I'll be nice to anyone who has a boat, just in case.
Can we all agree that if you do have a boat, you should never have a captain named Sean? No one wants Captain Sean.
Captain Sean.
I have friends named Sean, and they fucked up canoe trips. You don't want a Sean as captain of your boat.
Well, so that begs the question, is it Sean, S-E-A-N, Sean, S-H-A-U-N, or some variant of the two?
S-H-A-W-N?
Yeah, does one of them get all the captaining skills and the other one is just all thumbs? Or does any Sean surrogate just suck at boats?
So I have an interesting story about this because I watched 2 different versions of this.
Okay.
There are 2 versions?
What?
Okay, so
did you watch the not quite?
Go on.
Let me talk. So at first I rented this on, I can't remember, it was Google Play or something. And then I decided dropping my phone would be a good idea. And it stopped working for a day and a half. And that's what I was dealing with today. And then I come home and I watch this movie again. I was watching it with closed captions on because watching this movie with the volume all the way up is a horrible idea. Don't do it. The 2 versions that I watched in closed captions spelled Sean differently.
Interesting.
The plot thickens.
I don't get it. And I'm sure it was just a mistake. And keep in mind, I only saw the first 4 minutes prior. So there's a chance. The first 4 minutes where Sean is around. So there is a chance that there's legitimately one misspelling of his name somewhere in that movie. And the rest of it is fine. But I believe it is S-H-A-W-N. I believe
spelled it S-E-A-N
like Shaun of the Dead. Gotcha.
On IMDb.
I'm doing right
Which would
now.
be consistent with the director of the original Sean Cunningham's name spelling. So
This movie's so good. We're spending a good 10 minutes on how to spell Sean.
Yeah, there's so many variations, and each version, they all have a different personality. I'm thinking Shaun of the Dead, kind of Sean.
S-H-A-U-N.
U-N, that's,
Yeah.
Yet another spelling of a vanilla white guy name.
I forgot about that spelling.
Simon Pegg, motherfucker.
All Seans are assholes.
Correct.
They
all
are.
Seans are assholes.
Are.
Let's move
That
on.
is the only correct answer.
Can confirm.
AJ, what was your favorite death? In this movie?
My favorite death. It wasn't even the death. It was what Kane did after, where he chokes the girl to death and then throws her onto the floor. Like that was cool. Her hair flops over. It was great.
And that was not a stunt.
I told you that was a weak ass death, though. It was in the.
It was, yeah. The death wasn't that great. It was the way he disposed of the body afterwards.
And that was the actor that took that fall when he threw her too.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Kelly who?
Kelly who?
Kelly who?
Kelly who? Oh, Kelly who?
Doctor? Doctor?
Dr.
Watanabe.
So can we also stop for a minute and just recognize how fucking permissive this school must have been in like the late 80s?
Well, I want to know why they let the slut on the boat if she didn't have her homework done. Basically.
Well, evidently none of these people graduated, but they're all going on the senior trip, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so that's what confused me. They said congratulations, graduates, but
it says
none
it
of
on the
them.
sign.
but then they bring up later, and I have in my notes in all capital letters, cocaine on a fucking boat. What are these two drug lords?
Right. Yeah, and the principal is like, I hope you're not doing drugs, and they're all like, no, it's cool, man.
He heard the mirror break. There's no way he didn't hear that.
They're all graduates. They're all gradually going to die.
They have
Two
two
girls.
chaperones. One barely showed up.
The excuse,
Right.
I don't remember what the excuse was, but it should have been we were doing our makeup.
Right?
You know, two girls with a mirror.
Yeah.
It was like, no, we're doing nothing. You know,
We're
come on.
exploring the boat. I wrote that down.
Oh, exploring the boat.
Who else has a favorite death scene that they would like to disclose?
Ooh.
Matt?
Okay, Cocaine Girl, because she got stabbed to death with a piece of a mirror. So, righteous justice.
Very much circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
And she got high at the same time. She got high at the same time.
Melissa, was that your favorite death too?
No. Okay, not favorite death. But since we're on deaths, I thought it'd be a moment to be like, let's just take a moment to talk about the female deaths, of which they all are just like had an opportunity to at least fight. And I understand if one character is too petrified to move, but like the first female that dies, he's like slowly. She's like, no, the whole time. It's not even near her. She's even trying to like push it off or use it like, and every female in there just was like, I'm accepting it, but I'm gonna cry and wait for you to kill me.
But wasn't there one that stabbed him in the eye through the door though?
Rennie stabs him in the eye with Stephen King.
With Stephen King.
I know she's a final girl. She doesn't count. I get
Stephen
it.
King
Right,
writes
but
with a
every
fucking
other girl shouldn't be
typewriter.
that much of a pansy. Like that just it blows my mind. I understand being so petrified you can't move, but why was it every other female? And all the men are just like, yeah, I'm taking my gun and clapping this thing.
Or
and
Julia,
I-
I'm gonna punch you 73 times.
Right. Yeah.
Good point. Now. Here's
tried.
this is the story, ladies and gentlemen.
He tried.
When I go, I want to be in a fight with Kane Hodder, 1-on-1, where I'm just punching him right in the face and body shot 200 times, and then he punches my fucking head off.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's how I want to go.
First, you have to say, "Take your best shot, motherfucker."
That's
So-
it.
He didn't finish the motherfucker. He just said motherfucker.
So I was
He was-
watching
he
that
was
with
tired.
Katie, and she just got up
PG-13.
and walked away as soon as his head got punched off.
Yeah, a lot of things about this movie were weak.
She's like, "This is fucking stupid."
You could
This whole
tell.
movie was weak. What are
Horribly
you talking
funny.
about?
You could tell
It
that
was so bad in that.
the MPAA was really on top of this one. There wasn't much gore.
They
There wa-
did
there was
chop
no-
the shit out of this one.
There was maybe a tiny side boob, but that was it. Maybe a butt. And
There was
then
a butt, half of a butt.
There were like
Nudity.
right
and then
Where were you?
very
AJ?
little cursing.
Yeah.
Did you watch this on like Disney Plus or something?
Right.
There's the one girl.
I missed a lot of the
Yeah,
movie.
dude. There's the one girl that draws.
I missed a lot of the rewatching of
There's
the
the one
movie
girl that
because
draws-
My eyes were rolling in the back of my head.
Well, what about when he when he's doing his textbook, kill, 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 he started like actually laughing, like he laughs like a breathy laugh.
That's
After
what
killing
my
a few-
wife said too, but I don't think I feel like that's just in the music.
No, dude, I think it's like him laughing,
Well, that shouldn't be.
which is
Fuck this
it
movie.
made me laugh out loud.
He was
So
probably just thinking of something really funny.
So my box set of these are packed up right now. So I rented the thing on Amazon Prime, and I'd forgotten about this, and I also had the captions on. But when you start the movie up, when the Paramount logo is coming up, instead of being like or it's like and it fucking puts
yeah.
that up, and I'm like, did I rent somebody's shitty dub of this movie?
Paramount's shitty dub of the movie.
It
Yes.
sounded like
Yeah.
that though this time. I was like, I don't remember hearing it sound like Jason before, but like I was
Totally
hearing that. I was
was.
like, that can't
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah,
That
I heard
doesn't
that
sound
too.
normal.
It's
Is
not
this
right, but it
you?
was present.
Mhm.
Speaking of weak, my friend JJ, who is a massive Friday the 13th fan, pointed out to me before I watched this movie is like it was shot in a week. I think it might have been shot in less than that after watching it.
It was shot in real time.
I think they might have. I think you might be onto something.
I like the face melting of Jason, and I thought that was
Yeah.
fun to watch.
No,
I
his
got that.
motherfucking face looked like Frankenberry when that shit happened. Like I wrote that in my note. Face looks like Frankenberry.
Did they
Yeah.
throw away like
I still liked it.
yards of film of them just floating into New York Harbor like from a shipwreck and just randomly making it into New York Harbor?
They immediately get off the boat and get like mugged.
Yeah, this
What
movie
was with
doesn't
that?
paint a good picture for New York.
And there's like instantly available barrels of toxic waste to do your bidding with.
Toxic waste and junkies, people getting mugged.
Irish cop.
Sbarro.
You can definitely tell the Department of Travel for New York wasn't involved with this movie at all. Like, come see our drug dealers.
Oh no! In fact, the tourism board threatened to sue Paramount. The teaser poster was basically like the white thing with the "I Love New York"
Love
logo
New York,
with
yeah.
Jason slashing through it, and they had to take those down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Huh.
I mean, what
Because
happens if
Jason
you
is
get
so
there?
real.
It's basically saying we will take your virgin suburban daughters and bring her out back, stick her with the needle. Welcome.
I can
They
just see
also
the
wanted to
tourism
sue
board
because
like,
they're like
oh,
false advertising. There's never that much room in the subway cars.
So,
I
can I
see the
point out
tourism-
another plot hole that I think is a massive problem? And I
Oh.
ranted about this in my notes.
Okay.
So she gets kidnapped, right?
Yup.
Don't remind me that happened. It sucked. As did everything else in the movie. But she gets kidnapped by these horrible actors. I don't know their names. I don't care.
The
They kidnap
cast.
her.
I think that JoJo had to go sling some cane.
Yeah.
Right. So the one guy leaves. Again, his name doesn't matter. You don't care, neither do I. And this other guy's like just holding her down, and they're just kind of
Yeah,
like
you're bringing
staring
it
at
up.
each other. Okay. So she screams, right? And then Jason kills the guy, and then he just lets her fucking run.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like,
I-
she's had a shitty night. I'm gonna give her a head start.
She's
Yeah.
on a whole lot of
That-
heroin
that-
right now.
My
little-
problem with that was
Hurry.
that heroin didn't work very well.
Well, I was going
She
to
just got up and
Yeah.
ran away.
Yeah, then
It was just Dane soda.
right?
It was extended release heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had a pretty high tolerance for heroin. Either that or she had a dark secret that she didn't tell anybody about. And she was
Right.
prepped for that.
I think even
Spices.
Jason has like a moral compass, you know?
I
He
was gonna,
like,
yes.
see?
Gonna say, fuck these guys. I'll let her run away for tonight, but fuck these guys first. You know what I mean?
Are you guys like
So Jason usually kills people who fuck, but he only kills people who fuck with consent. There's a
Yeah.
lesson here.
Yeah, don't. Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
I know, but that's never
Oh,
watched
wait,
that
yeah.
movie.
What's your
That
Twitter
could lead
again?
some fucked up
Yeah, what's my
places.
Twitter handle? I'm trying to get a new job actually, so I would love for this publicity to be out there.
At Courtney Takes Manhattan.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would. Oh, that's a good one.
Courtney takes something.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go to my
Courtney
new
takes
town.
something.
I'm gonna go to my new office in my new town on Monday, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, we need to have a talk."
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
About the shirt that you actually wore into work, which says
Yes.
Satan is good.
Well, what? It's Casual Friday. What?
They won't be. They won't be
Consented
mad
murder
about
victim.
anything else. They'll be like, "So we've noticed you watched Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan again. Why? Why?"
Yeah.
Not only
Just-
did you do that, but
Just
you
to
did it
see the
willingly.
dumpster close.
You did it willingly. That's, I think, going to be the real question. Why did you do this with your own
No,
volition?
sir. I have paid to watch this willingly multiple times in recent memory. Once at home when I own the fucking Blu-ray, and another time to see it on the big screen in the movie theater.
So you paid for it 3 times. You bought the Blu-ray, you watch it at home, and then in theaters.
Oh, I'm still paying. I mean, if
You're
we
still
want to be
paying
honest,
for it.
I'm still paying.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
have, John, do you own this?
I do. It's boxed up right
Whoa.
now, but I do.
Nice.
The entire collection, and I have not seen past Part 8 now, so
What?
I've
You gotta
never
watch
seen
Jason X, man.
Jason
my-
X, yeah, it's got David Cronenberg in it.
Yeah.
He's got a tremendous death.
And the best Jason kill, I think, in all of the movies.
You
With
guys,
the
The
VR.
Frozen one.
Yeah, he freezes the girl's head in
Yep.
liquid nitrogen and smashes it on the table.
The
Jason
VR
stopped in the
campsite is pretty
80s,
great too.
1989. There's no Jason in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
Come on,
I still have never watched the remake.
It's not bad.
that surprises me.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I'm not real big on remakes. They've got to be something special to grab me, and it
Mhm.
usually has to be something that somebody I trust recommends to me. Like
Yeah.
the only reason that I ever gave the Suspiria remake a chance was because Tim League said, "No, dude, you have to watch it. This is like watching a master filmmaker at the height of his craft." And I was like, a statement like that coming from somebody like that carries enough weight for me to get over myself and give something a chance. But
Mhm.
most of the time, remakes are shit.
Yeah, and nobody's
Not all
ever
the
going to say that about Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
Anything
never.
Jason related.
The remake doesn't grab you unless it grabs you like a creepy adult.
Exactly. That's it.
Show
As a
me on the
teenager.
doll where the Friday the 13th remake touched you.
Exactly.
Or like a drug dealer in Manhattan, apparently.
It's time for this, you guys.
For the memory of a lifetime. Recast, recast, recast.
Never get tired of hearing my brother croon that.
That was beautiful.
It is like an angelic voice from heaven.
Jesus.
Or hell.
So I think everybody here has played Total Recast
Manhattan.
before, except for Courtney. So Courtney will give a few turns. I think we told you what it was.
Yeah.
So, and so you'll be ready at some point. But
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear from Matthew Blevins. Who did you recast in this film?
I recast the character of Sean, and I'm putting Kurt Russell in that role. Guys, we're
He's a fully
going
grown man.
we're
then.
going from Captain Sean to Captain Ron because he would not let his girlfriend be kidnapped and injected with heroin. He would burn down all of New York City before he would let that happen. Kurt Russell.
The movie would have made so much more money
Mm.
for sure.
Captain Ron meets Jason.
Yeah.
Melissa, hook us up with a total recast pick, Melissa.
I just dump it. Is this not an option? Like, it's not that I wouldn't remake it or recast. Like, I don't want to do that to any other actor. So I can't recast it, and I don't want to reboot it because, like, Not because it's so good, you don't want to reboot it, but you just don't want to reboot it. Like
Because it sucks wet armadillo fur.
let it be. Let it be.
I'll let you off on that
Wet
technicality,
armadillo.
but you got to say like, I want to dump it overboard or something like that. So it's
So
like
we
a
got
pun.
Kurt Russell.
She wants to throw it in the water like they did Rennie.
I'll be your huckleberry.
That was so wild. Like when the sled just
Yeah.
floated.
Very
It's like
random.
body checker.
Yeah.
Oh, good times in high school. John Cohorn, you've always got a very thoughtful response for these.
Okay, well, I tell you what, since Melissa didn't since she didn't take hers, I'm going to take hers, and I'll give you a
Okay.
serious one and a funny one. So my serious one, I would recast Rennie with Christine Hodge. Christine Hodge was the redheaded girl from Head of the Class, but the only reason she's on my mind lately is because she's also in Scanner Cop 2, which recently got a re-release and does pretty good in it, so I could see her in that role. But the funny one, so there's one point where Julius uses the word motherfucker that made my head spin. I did a spit take because it sounded like the guy who plays Kincaid in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and
Dream
4,
Warriors.
which I always thought was funny because he's supposed to be this big, tough badass, but he's really kind of a chunky, schlubby, fat guy. So
Yeah.
I think it would be funny to recast Julius with Ken Sagos, I believe his name is, from Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
And would he still do all the punching? Like he would.
Oh, he still would do the
that?
punching, but he would get tired super quick and just be slow and like huffing and puffing, and Jason would still knock his motherfucking head off.
I feel like Jason would feel sad for him for a little bit. Like,
Well, we
this
all
is the
would,
most
'cause that's
pathetic
Kincaid.
attempt I've ever seen.
Okay, Mike, you're the director of this film and casting director. What do you
I'd
got?
recast the entire movie and then I'd cancel it. I went with. I actually had two as well. I'd have Julius as a young Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Because he needs his head punched off sometimes.
Julius
And he
Winfield.
could say motherfucker pretty well.
And,
Yeah, he's pretty good at that.
but what's the deckhand's name? The weird deckhand.
Deckhand.
Shitty
is
Liam
fine.
Neeson.
It's
Shitty
no,
Liam Neeson.
it should be young Crispin Glover.
Ooh.
You know what?
Ooh.
They actually didn't. In IMDb, he's just named Deckhand.
And he's well, no, wait. Deckhand may be the guy that's below decks that gets killed. I think I just called him the shitty Crazy Ralph stand-in. But Crispin Glover has already been killed
Yeah.
in universe in this
Yeah,
series.
you can't have him in a two.
Yeah,
movies.
like it matters with this fucking movie.
He does the dance. The
Yeah,
shitty dance.
Corey Feldman grew up to be Tom Matthews. You guys, come on. This is fine.
Fine,
I
Christopher
accept-
Walken is the deckhand.
You're recast.
Ron Johnson.
Ryan
could've-
Johnson.
They could have brought Corey Feldman back to be Wayne,
Who's
They
Wayne?
should have.
the AV geek.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wayne,
Oh,
you're an
yeah.
asshole.
Oh.
Courtney.
Okay, I also had two.
Okay.
And I would do a reboot because, again, this movie weirdly has a weird hold in my heart. I know y'all hate it. I enjoy
love
it
that,
weirdly.
I don't hate it.
I
don't hate
have
it.
because of just like my connection with my family, all that very like weird kid stuff or like young adult stuff. So I would do a reboot. I would have Olivia Rodrigo as Rennie, if you want to have some like star power, but like before she became a musician, like famous musician,
Before
like
Sour
still Disney
came out.
Channel. What? Yeah, before Sour
Before
came out,
Sour
Disney
came out.
Channel, trying to like break in. Like Say Sour never came out. Say
Okay.
she's still under the Disney Channel. She wants to like do like a Spring Breakers kind of deal. So this is gonna be her version of Spring Breakers. And then as the deckhand, I think he might be too, dare I say, too handsome for this, but Adam Driver would be good as the weird deckhand if he just as a fun like throwaway, like, oh, is that Adam Driver? I don't know. You know what I
He
mean?
should start
What's he
appearing
doing
in
in this movie?
Adam
Yeah.
Driver did start appearing in random horse shit, but only
Adam
for like 5
Driver
minutes.
slumming it.
Yeah, I would love him to pull like Anna Kendrick and just start showing up in really shitty movies, but be the best part of it, like as a side character.
Now I kind of want to see like Keanu Reeves just show up as the deckhand.
Actually,
Like,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
Keanu is just like a better version of Adam, I guess.
I
would
Maybe
watch
not as an
John Wick
actor.
versus
Well, he's a
Jason.
well-aged. He's fine.
Yeah, it's wine versus beer, I guess.
It's Adam Driver versus National Treasure.
Yes, versus
I mean,
Nicolas
what,
Cage.
Adam Driver versus the Constitution.
That would be another really good one.
That sounds like a good like an Oscar-winning drama.
Adam Driver versus the Constitution. Only on Apple Plus.
That's
Maybe
what I call
deckhand
prestige
like
TV.
famous
And
actors
your
throughout the
grocery
whole
freezer.
movie.
Hey
I just
Ben,
don't like freedom, guys.
give me a total recast.
So for Rennie, she actually starred in a good movie a few years before this in a similar role. Molly Ringwald, who was in Breakfast Club not too many years before this.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
We should have recast the whole Brat Pack, actually.
Yeah.
Put the whole Brat
They
Pack
should
on
have-
that boat.
No, what they really
Melissa's like,
should have done is written the script for this movie, looked at it, and then thrown it in toxic waste.
It floods the sewer every night at midnight.
Yeah.
You're
Just
recasting the script as toxic.
I'm gonna Google that.
Yes, there you
It
go.
would be
The
more
script is
watchable.
toxic waste.
It turns into
AJ?
the Toxic Avenger.
I was gonna
Immediately.
say, Jason's lucky he didn't land in Tromaville, New Jersey. Toxic
take
Avenger
money
would have kicked his
that
ass. Anyway, so Rennie, Jensen Daggett. I'm not gonna recast her, but she was in Alf, and I think
Okay.
we should recast
Alf.
Alf as Jason.
Oh man,
Oh, I'm gonna stab you.
Kane
Wasn't
Hodder
an
already
elf.
got screwed out of
Wasn't
Freddy
an elf
versus
back in the
Jason.
day.
Now you're gonna screw him out of this one too.
I think he'd be okay with it if it was Alf.
James Marv.
All right, so this is awesome. Stay with me. Rennie would be Christina Applegate. Sean would be Scott Baio. The AV geek would be Josh Brolin. The deckhand would be Carl Hankin or Larry Hankin, and the Jason would be Andre the Giant.
Oh, that's very wholesome.
Which actually fits because we'd have to bring Andre the Giant back from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was not
Make-
dead when this movie was shot, though.
He's dead now.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a recast, right?
But
He's
if we put
dead?
him at the bottom of the lake,
He's fucking dead.
yeah, he's
What? No.
John's
Sorry,
on
man.
something.
I didn't mean
He's
to break
probably
it
at the
to you
bottom
like
of the lake, and all you need to do is drive a boat
Drop
near
anchor.
a yacht.
Drop
near it.
anchor.
Real?
Drop anchor. Also, like, drop anchor before you get her pants off. Just anybody out there listening.
Drop anchor before
Drop
you get
anchor
her
before you
pants
drop.
off. That's
it.
good advice.
that sounds square, man.
Drop
we,
anchor.
just
then
drop,
drop.
we drop them and then we drop it.
Yeah. There you go.
Safety. I'm a safety
Yeah.
girl.
Also, just use a car.
Or I don't know. Go to your rich kid house.
Mm-hmm.
Go somewhere where people haven't been slaughtered over the years, like
Yeah.
in your specific age group.
And did you see like the nautical themed drapes? I mean, nobody wants to bang with those hanging around. That doesn't
No.
get your girl in the mood. You got
Yeah,
the
at
wood
least
paneling.
At least age out of that age group and then go back if you want. Go, like go in your 30s, have a good time.
Hey, baby, you want to see my dinghy?
I boo.
Is that a barnacle?
Hey, I'm gonna total
Joke,
recast. I'm gonna total recast Mr. McCulloch, who was played by Peter Mark Richmond, probably the only
legit actor in the movie.
really seasoned actor that was in this. That was in like tons of roles.
That's
Lots
a
of
nice way
18,
of putting
lots of
it.
18 episodes. Lots of 18 episodes.
I was still very, very like creeped out when he was in bed the girl who says, "I want to make sure I labeled all my organs correctly,"
Oh,
which she only labeled like
Yeah,
two.
she had 2
Yeah.
organs. She had 2 organs in her body.
Look, she knew she wasn't
What an
smart,
idiot.
okay?
Makeup department got very lazy on that.
that's why she was gonna fail. That's why she didn't pass
Look,
her test.
How many
I
organs
think the heart's
can you name
here. I
after
think the stomach.
line?
The stomach and the cocaine tubes.
Courtney, you're right, is very accurate to her character. It was
Also,
like,
I thought he was
wasn't
the
gonna pass.
freaking principal with how much he thought he was in charge.
but what was he?
He was the principal.
But he said he was the biology teacher.
So we should recast him as Jeffrey Jones. Ferris Bueller.
Jeffrey
No,
Dahmer.
because those high school
maybe he was
students
doing
were
double
too old
duty.
for Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes you have a history teacher who's also like the gym teacher. You know what I mean? And they're both living
Especially
their
in those
best lives
schools with
I
10
think-
Yeah.
people in every graduate.
with only 10 people in the graduating class.
I think
Only
all
afford
those
so many
kids are
faculty.
those kids are too old for Jeffrey Jones.
The taxes never get passed. So yeah.
But anyway,
Also-
I'm replacing him with Back to the Future's James Tolkien, who is Principal Strickland.
Oh yeah!
Because he's
Wow, this
way
movie's just
cooler.
getting crazier and crazier.
It's getting more
Wow.
interesting.
Also,
I'd
at one
watch it.
point, they do say that there are hundreds of kids on this boat.
You do?
Are there?
Yes. I'm telling you, I had to rewind it to make sure. But they definitely say it.
So
No
the
way,
rest
dude.
of the kids were the underprivileged ones that they had below decks rowing.
Yeah. Again, Titanic. Basically
That's like
Titanic.
Like the Titanic.
Maybe they stopped it. Maybe they dropped him off at several ports of call en route to
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Except-
I'm gonna take the boat parts of this movie and intercut like party scenes from Titanic into it.
Please do. Please. Oh my God. That would be a
Mike,
mashup.
Can me and you reshoot the dance scene between the
Just
2
like
of
the
them?
ha-
Yes.
So just the handprint in the car, but it's bloody. That's all that I want.
Okay.
And Mike, anytime you take
Winslet's
footage of
handprint.
anytime you take footage of the water creeping into the boat from this movie, and it's like, you know, this color, just like
Yeah.
you gotta digitally insert Slimer into the water because he's swimming in the
Ah!
Already for it.
Already ready.
What the fuck?
There was a reason I just
Mike?
found you.
I see your Slimer,
Whoa.
and I rate it.
Oh my God. Hang on a second.
Is there another
That's a
one?
costume.
You're a costume.
It's a costume. It's a costume.
What is that?
The people that are watching, just tuning in, are going to be completely fucking mystified at what's going on.
My last
I-
name Patch.
Oh no!
I pretty much
Fuck them up now.
It's my
I pretty
Halloween
much have
costume.
all
Can
of
we
my
just become
shit
best
packed
friends,
up
Courtney?
except for like bottles of booze and random movies that I've bought since I started packing. I don't have any Ghostbusters shit.
Are you guys excited for the new
he's
one?
He's like a
Yes.
ghost, right?
No, I'm not excited for the new one.
Ghostbuster?
I haven't
Do
been
you think it's
excited
going to
for
be Stranger
Ghostbusters
Things
since
Part
the 80s.
4?
No.
Do you feel like that's how it's going to be? Not funny and just like melodramatic?
Probably. Yeah.
It's gonna be
Because
better.
it has
than,
that kid in it.
It's gonna be better than the
We've
last.
abandoned ship.
I
Dane, we've
didn't watch the
abandoned
last-
ship.
Yes.
We
I
don't
like
like
the
we don't like this
female
movie.
one.
It's very obvious.
I didn't.
But let's go ahead and
I do like this movie.
I know.
It's terrible, but I like it.
So
I like
so
it
we're
too.
all going to prove how much we like or dislike this movie by rating it for the patented Cult Filmometer here. With all this film burning. So let's start with Melissa, because you are incredibly bored.
No.
And yet she had a costume change too.
Yeah.
And did I see gore
Yeah, because she gets her head bashed in with her
with a guitar or a ukulele, whatever the case may be?
ukulele.
That
A
is above and
ukulele.
beyond.
You're
That
welcome.
is
Yeah, it's something. I would
Right.
give it a City 3.
City.
A shitty 3.
City. That's in New York City.
New
3.
York City 3.
New York City 3.
You know, I wasn't trying to be funny, just 63.
Okay.
A very serious
It doesn't
63.
deserve.
That's how funny
Joke.
you really are then. You get a
Look,
laugh.
it's got a lot of great moments that could make it very, well, it doesn't have a lot of great moments. It's got the ingredients for great cults, you know, like sometimes a great cult is really bad and it's funny, but like it was trying to not be bad, and there's a difference. And it's just not great. So
Okay. I agree, because by that time, Nightmare on Elm Street was like, let's just fucking go for the laughs.
Right, let's bring in Roseanne and Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
I'm fine with goofy and shitty horror films, but this one, like, I don't know. There was just like one or two moments I was like, okay, this is like so bad it's funny, and the rest of it was like, I think they weren't really trying to be funny, or if they were, it was not going well. So it just gets a 63.
Well, good for
63,
Joni.
okay. Benny.
I have consulted with the person whom I watched this movie with for a
With who
score out of
watched
100.
This movie?
Who'd you watch it with?
My best friend since kindergarten, Cody.
Since
Shout out to Cody.
2014.
10 years ago.
You young pup.
Neither one. Okay, he doesn't drink at all, and I only drink like once or twice a month. But I think I made him want alcohol for the first time in his life, making him watch this with me. He tried to leave like several times, and I said no. We came up with a score of 35.
Times
Wow. Okay. I could see this going
35
that way.
for each of you, so it's 70.
No, 35. Just period. Just 35. No, times 2. Just 35.
Okay.
This movie sucks. Don't watch it, please.
John Cohorn begs to differ, and he's going to tell you why.
I do, and actually, I'll maybe maybe I'll right the ship here. So the admiral turned the captain over to me. I've given the international maritime sign. This is a shitty movie, no doubt. But it is a shitty movie that does have some redeeming qualities, especially if you're able to watch it with friends or in a crowded theater back when that was a thing, especially if the drinks are flowing. This is a stupid movie, but it's a stupid fun movie. Like, you can't be in a theater full of people and watch dude get his head punched off, flip end over end, watch the camera go POV, lands in the fucking dumpster closes, and not have a good time. Therefore, I'm going to give this movie the party number. I'm going to give it 69, dude.
Yeah.
I almost.
That fucks.
I feel like you've got like Ninja Turtle vibes going on up there.
Yeah, what was that dude's name?
Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Casey Jones, yeah.
Who doesn't know who Casey Jones is? God damn
I wasn't a Ninja
You were
Turtle,
genre
dude.
challenged. AJ Lecter.
All right.
AJ Lecter.
I can't do it. Okay. I'm going to give it a 65.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a Friday the 13th movie, so it's awesome. But it's the second worst, I think. The only one worse than this is Jason Goes to Hell, because Jason's not even in that fucking movie.
I'm sorry,
He's in
what?
hell. He's busy in hell.
So, the worst part, I think it's not scary because they took him out of the woods. The woods sets the tone, you know. Fucking Camp Crystal Lake is the scary place.
Yeah.
New York isn't that scary. I mean,
Or
a boat isn't that
I
scary.
mean, it's starting to seem very scary. Like, I don't know that I want to go.
Manhattan in the late 80s was pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah, basically, you get off the boat,
42nd
you're on the
Street.
dock, you get raped. That's what this movie shows you about New York. That's
I mean,
scary.
10 seconds or less, you're right.
Yeah, shot up.
They
with
tried
the
to make
nose.
it
Welcome
look
to America.
Opa.
Because as Mike pointed out earlier, this movie is shot in real time.
Blood.
This movie was actually done
When you use
live.
it.
This movie was actually done live in front of a studio audience.
11.
Well, so if we reboot it,
Live
if we
from New
reboot
York.
we have to do it all in a single take.
Yes.
There you go.
From Crystal Lake, from Crystal Lake to
The single
the
take.
Hudson River.
From Crystal Lake to single take. There you go.
It's
There you
like
go.
48-hour film competition challenge. Can you make a better version of this within 48 hours?
In my sleep.
How many drugs are involved?
As many as you want. It's your team.
Well,
Do I
shit,
have-
yeah.
Do I have unbridled access to Jensen Daggett?
No.
No. All right. I could
You're
make
gonna
it.
have to sling some more cane, JoJo.
Yes, I could. If
All
I
right,
borrow,
well,
if
All
I
right.
borrow AJ and Mike and Melissa, we could put it all together.
I could see like 5 characters. Just stand there and don't move while you get killed, even though you have ample time. Done.
Matthew Blevins, your score.
Okay, so my wife and I had a lot of great laughs watching it and all that fun stuff. And then there's the scene where Jason kind of arrives in New York and he's about ready to put on his one-man show. It's like, New York, New York, it's a hell of a town. Jason's here, and we're, and that for that alone, I'm gonna give it like a 32. How about that? The Price is Right. This thing.
Wow.
And it only got those points because he looked up at an ad for hockey masks
Yeah.
and was like,
Exactly. That was it.
Oh, wait. I want to do an impression of that. Here's a billboard. Wait. There we go.
That shit.
Yeah.
Was
He breaks the third wall. Looks right into the camera.
we're already reshooting this on StreamYard. Our countdown has begun. Courtney.
Based on the criteria of it being like a cult classic, what have you, and how I kind of rank that, I gave it a 38 because it can be culty, but it is also part of a major franchise. So it's not like it already had a built-in audience, you know what I mean? So people are going to go see it regardless. I don't know. I still have a lot of emotional ties to it, but aside from that, yeah, it's a shitty movie. But do I still love my cousin? Yeah, he's great. Do I think of those moments fondly when my mom wasn't home? Absolutely. When he had to watch us.
To give it more than 38.
I mean,
I'm
I don't.
shocked by this shit.
I thought you were going to be one of the
Me-
higher scores.
me
because
too.
you were-
I know.
You were defending it this whole time, and then
I know.
I call bullshit and shenanigans, and I moved to strike the 30s.
I was only going off of what I thought what a cult movie would be, And
now-
again, coming in from a major franchise, I don't think it really warrants that per se, because it's like people are going to go see it regardless. That was more my
Because you
ranking.
saw the other one. Because you saw the other ones, right?
I
Now,
saw
John-
one other one.
John
That's-
Kilhorn is very worried about what the score is going to be, but I know it's been a while, but you've forgotten the Cult Filmometer is never wrong.
It's
So-
never wrong.
So you have to take what it gives you. But who haven't we asked? I think we haven't asked Mike Callio for a score.
Watching it in the theater back in 1989 was pretty amazing, but there was also booze involved and people screaming and yelling and carrying on. So I'm not counting that. The rewatch was. Oof. I'm gonna go. Let's see. It's the 8th one, so 8. Plus, it's Friday the 13th, so plus 13. What's that?
21.
That would be 21.
Love that number.
Plus,
It's really
Forever.
low.
I would say.
So cheap.
I would say 21. That's what I give this. Well, you know what? It does have a guy getting his head knocked off with a very good right hook. So I'll give that. I'll give it another point for that. So 22. This
It
movie
almost
sucks.
wasn't
This movie
worth
sucks out loud. No offense, Courtney.
The numbers.
It's okay.
I understand.
It's okay. I understand.
Believe me, I have. Matter of fact, a lot of the people that I took to this movie was like, "We're gonna go see this. It's gonna be fun." Have a thing they call Callio Classics, which is all the shitty movies I've made them watch that they hate. So, but I want to go 22. It's a stinker.
By far the worst score you've ever given a film.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 23. And okay, so Dames doesn't like fucking hyperventilate.
I don't think it's Dames anymore. He's been replaced by Jason. Jason, what are you going to score this one?
No disrespect to the panel, but you are all a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. This movie is fucking Friday the 13th, part fucking 8. It's got Kane Hodder in it. Don't know why he's the most popular Jason there is, but he is. Don't know why this is the most popular mask there is, but he is. You're dumb. This is a fucking 71 all day.
It's it.
So to be fair,
What happened?
Jason, I don't think I was down there with the rest of those fools. I was up in like 69, 71 land.
Why
love you,
did
Johnny
Jason
Cohorn.
breathe like Darth Vader in this movie?
Also, why is Jason like a WWE wrestler?
I
Yeah,
don't have the
really.
card.
Also, why is it
pitiful.
called Jason Takes Manhattan when he barely is in Manhattan?
Yeah, he didn't even take out a goddamn apartment on the Upper West Side, let
It
alone
should have
all of Manhattan.
Jason, Friday the 13th, part 8. Jason eventually visits Manhattan. Maybe.
He pushed
You know what
over
would've been
a lady
awesome?
in the subway.
You know what would have been awesome? After he looked at that hockey sign, he should have gone to the hockey arena and just racked up the death count there. Because at least then it would have been.
Dude,
That would've been
Ben
fun.
Shrewsbury writes
So
the next
supposed-
Jason Takes Manhattan part 2.
Supposedly, Jason was supposed to end up in Madison Square Gardens, and that was where the fight with him and Julius was supposed to take place. But the budget got tanked, and none of the
Dude, as a
creative
halftime
happened.
show where everybody thinks it's a fucking joke. As a
And it's like-
halftime show.
Was
It
like,
ended up in Canadian Square Gardens.
were they going to fight in the middle of a Knicks game and like Patrick Ewing was going to dunk Julius's head while Spike Lee?
After it got punched off, you might as well, right? It's better than winding up on the fucking police car steering wheel.
Was Ewing on the Knicks by this point? This is shot in '88.
Yes,
I don't know. I don't fucking pay
yes,
attention to
you
sport.
absolutely was on the Knicks.
This has to be the
So-
worst score.
I think you guys.
That's
you guys are
because
all
almost
crazy.
everybody on here is wrong.
I think most of you guys are crazy. I wrote down
Thank you,
a score
Admiral.
in my notes, and nothing that you've said here is changing that score of 80.
80?
Ah!
You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid.
On the patented Cult Filmometer, this movie is getting a 52.78.
Is that the
That's
worst?
too high.
That's failing.
That's beautiful.
Not if
Okay.
you blackmail your
3.14.
principal.
Yeah, true.
Can I
Hey.
change my score? Can I change my score to
If
negative
one-
100?
No.
No! Shut the
No.
fuck up. If one person changed their score, Dane, this is the lowest movie we've ever done. But it's not! Because Larry Hankin ranked Billy Madison a 0. This movie comes in 0.78 points higher than Billy Madison.
Damn.
Good job, buddy. That's right where it belongs.
And
Oh.
Is that why you gave it 80? I don't believe 80 is your real score. I think you
That's
had
like
too
one of
much-
the one of the
toxic-
lowest scores I've ever given. I love shitty movies.
So do I, but I had to, because you base it on all the other Friday the 13th movies.
They're
Friday the
shitty,
13th
and then there's
Friday
this.
the 13th Part 5 is shittier.
I didn't.
Friday the 13th Part 9 is shittier. It could be effectively argued that Friday or the Jason X is shittier.
No.
You could definitely argue that the remake is shittier. I think
I don't
some of
count
y'all
the remake.
motherfuckers don't need Jesus, but need some shitty movie perspective. I'm just gonna say it.
All right. Well, the Cult Filmometer is spoken, and we're gonna go before we leave. We're gonna go counterclockwise and get everybody what you've got going on, anything you want to promote. So, Courtney Warner, start with you.
All right, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I have 2 podcasts on the Project Nerd Network: Murder She Joe, improvised untrue crime, kind of radio drama podcast, all improvised. And then I'm a co-host of High Five, the podcast, where we talk about movies, very similar to this. And I have a bunch of stand-up shows, but they're kind of in the Southeast and Nashville area. So if you're not there, don't worry about it. Unless you want to, if you fancy a road trip, come see me, but like not in a weird way.
Love it.
In a weird way too.
In a weird way,
No.
I mean, don't. You know, stalkers are real.
Hi,
It's
Courtney.
stalker
Wanna hang out?
things.
Yeah.
That's like creepy versus weird. Like,
Yeah, creepy. Okay, if you want to come hang out in a weird way, let's go. Fine, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese and go in the ball pit or something. I don't know. If you want to be weird,
I do it.
No, kids
Mojo.
pee in there.
Weird and
She means
unclean
creepy.
way.
Why are they
Not
She means creepy the way I.
creepy?
just I don't want to be spoken to ever or acknowledged.
But just
That
lay in a
you're
ball
starting
pit?
to sound like me.
John
Yeah, I just
Manhattan
wanna be
Philharmony
wheeled in and
still
wheeled
doing
out.
Oh, this is no longer a Manhattan, sir. This is just straight bourbon at this point.
Hell yeah!
Cherries.
Are you still
Well-
doing modern horrors?
I yes and no. I have taken a sabbatical just because my life has been so crazy getting ready for the move and stuff. I will be resuming things once I get relocated to Charlotte, so that should be happening pretty soon. In the meantime, I'm just like drinking and freaking out about major unanticipated life changes and hanging out and talking movies and being disappointed in some of you motherfuckers.
Hey, I was in like the same 60s.
No, you're cool. You're cool. It's the rest of these motherfuckers that we're talking like 20s and 30s.
Like the next person up, Ben Shrewsbury. What do you got going on?
I guess I'm a disappointment this time. Okay, it works. Just yeah.
This time.
Anyway,
Aw.
I'm gonna be starting streaming daily over on Twitch, twitch.tv/thybenman. I have my podcast, obviously, 2 Marks and a Spark. Follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna be announcing some pretty cool shit I'm gonna be doing on the pod feed here soon. At Ben Shrewsbury. And that's pretty much it, man.
Okay, thank you. Michael Callio.
I have a screening of this micro-budget found footage horror movie I just did a couple months ago at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood on the 21st of October, which is pretty cool, during Scream Fest. If anyone's in the LA area, it's a free screening. And I've got my 50 sci-fi spoof feature playing at 2 festivals, one on October 16th here in LA and one on November 14th in Detroit. And I helped shoot a documentary about twice exceptional kids, autism awareness. That documentary screens on October 23rd of this month, October, and I can speak. And I'm learning how to babble incoherently. But that's that's here in LA as well, and then I'm going to continue growing my beard.
Nice.
Which is, these are all fine endeavors, but I think the beard, perhaps the most important of all.
Yes. Fuck those
Melissa?
beards are awesome.
Melissa, you're featured in a magazine that I read an article from.
Yeah.
That featured you.
Yeah. No, it was good, but no, I don't. That was an awkward interview. I don't like talking about stuff. I think
stuff is dumb.
Stuff is dumb, like about me. I like talking about other people's stuff and judging them. It's way more fun.
Okay. Well, I rate your
Mom?
answer
Mom?
32.
Wait, no, I'm not finished. I did a 40-hour film that will be showed in Detroit. But I don't think we have a date yet, so I can't share it. It's a mystery. Fun, right? See if you can figure it out.
You filmed it in 40 hours. It's not 40 hours long, right?
I was gonna say, nice editing job, jackass.
Horror film competition.
I bet you I know where it's showing.
Nowhere.
In Detroit, she said.
No, I
that.
bet you it's the same place I am. I'm showing my movie
Where?
at Planet Ant, the Ant Theater in Hamtramck in November.
I don't know. They didn't give us the information. Where they were originally going to do it, I think they were like, oh, it fell through. We'll let you know when we know.
No, all right. Well, I don't know. Then I don't know shit.
It's literally a fun mystery at this point.
This is going really well. Matthew Blevins, do you know what you're doing?
I do, and I love talking about my own stuff. So tomorrow night I'll be at Teehees in Des Moines, and then on October 23rd I'll be at Full Circle Venue in Grand Island, Nebraska, and on October 30th I'll be at the Omaha Funny Bone. So come check me out, and you can look me up on all the social media at Blevo Comedy.
Oh, this is
Very
comedy.
nice.
Okay. I thought it was gangbang.
Actually,
Not
tomorrow's
games before
show
that,
is
but
called.
Thank you for clarifying.
There apparently there's a bunch of swingers coming out to the show tomorrow because it's called the Glory Hole. So I don't know. It's
Fuck
gonna
yeah.
get weird. Come out and check it out.
I know what a glory hole is.
Speaking of glory holes, AJ, you're up.
After school lunch special 2, sloppy seconds coming soon. I don't know when. I'm waiting on the score still.
Oh, 32.
No, the musical score.
49.8.
You can get the original on After School Lunch Special on hodgebob.com. That's HOJBOB.com. Or Amazon Prime, and everything I've ever done is on Troma Now.
I hope the new one winds up on Troma Now as well.
Oh, it will.
So that means I will.
It's starring Lloyd Kaufman and Mark Torgel.
So you would be dumb if it wasn't on there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a CF3 podcast, Partycast on Project Nerd. Please subscribe to Project Nerd and keep watching these things. All of these people will be back again, I'm sure. Later this month, we're going to do the Blair Witch Project, and we've got some other cool stuff lined up for November and beyond. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.